All right, let's pull back the curtain and talk about Figma. It's the powerhouse design platform that's behind so many of the websites and apps you're probably using every single day. If you've ever looked at a slick app and wondered, how did they even make that? Well, you are in exactly the right place. So, let's start with that big question. I mean, really, how do those amazing apps on your phone or your favorite websites get their look and feel? It's not some kind of magic, right? It all starts with a designer, a really clear vision, and of course, a powerful piece of software to bring that vision to life.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to walk through 5 key areas. First, we'll get the lay of the land, the whole world of design tools. Then we'll zero in on why Figma is just so darn popular. After that, we'll get you set up, play with some of the essential creative tools, and then we'll look at what's next on your design journey.
First up, the digital design landscape. See, before we can really appreciate what makes Figma so special, we kind of need to understand the world it was born into and the very specific problems it was built to solve.
You know, when a designer is picking their go-to tool, they're juggling a few really important factors. Is it affordable? Can they work with their team online in real time? Is it easy enough for a beginner to jump into without getting totally overwhelmed? And maybe most importantly, is it actually built for the specific job of designing websites and apps?
And when you stack up the big players, Figma's advantages just pop right out. I mean, sure, tools like Adobe XD and Sketch are powerful, but Figma works everywhere, on any computer with a web browser. And that real-time collaboration, that was the absolute game changer. It tore down the old walls between designers. Plus, that free tier is so generous, it means literally anyone can start designing like a pro today. Which brings us right to our next section. What is Figma's secret sauce? Why have so many designers, from solo freelancers to giant tech companies, all decided that this is the tool?
Well, it really all starts with this one idea, being cloud native. And this isn't just about saving your files online. It means you never, ever have to hit save again or worry about your computer crashing. You can just log in from any machine and pick up right where you left off. And you can finally say goodbye to those nightmare file names like final_design_v2 for default_real_ this time. It's just one live, up-to-date version, always.
And this cloud-first approach, it unlocks some amazing advantages. We're talking true, real-time teamwork where you can literally see your teammate's mouse cursor moving around on the same screen as you. Getting feedback is a breeze with built-in comments, no more endless email chains with screenshots. Development mode makes handing off designs to programmers super smooth, and the massive library of plugins lets you do things like pull in stock photos right inside the app. It's just efficient.
So, we've covered the why, now let's get our hands dirty with the how. Section 3 is all about taking those first practical steps inside the Figma interface.
And getting started is about as easy as it gets. You can literally just open a new browser tab, go to Figma's website, sign up, and you're in. That's it. No installation, no fuss. Of course, if you're like me and you like having a dedicated app, you can download that too.
The moment you open a file, you'll see this giant open area right in the middle. That's your canvas. Seriously, think of it as your infinite digital desk. It's where every single part of your design, every screen, every button, every icon is going to live and come together.
Now look over to the left side of your screen. That's the Layers panel. This is basically the table of contents for your project. As you add more shapes and text and images, they all appear here in a nice organized list. This is so crucial for finding and selecting that one specific little thing, especially when your designs start to get complex.
And finally, over on the right, you've got the Properties panel. I like to call this the control center. The second you click on anything on your canvas, like a piece of text, this panel instantly changes to show you everything you can possibly edit about it. The color, the font, the size, shadows, you name it. It's smart, it's contextual, and it's where all the magic happens.
Okay, enough talk, let's actually make something. We're diving into Section 4 to play around with the core creative tools you'll be using all the time.
A perfect first project is just making a simple button. Seriously, it's super easy. You just hit the R key to draw a rectangle. Then you hop over to the Properties panel to give it a corner radius. That's what gives it those nice, soft, rounded edges. Next, hit the T key to add a text layer, maybe something like Sign In. Center it up, pick some colors, and boom, you've just created one of the most fundamental building blocks of any app.
Okay, now let's talk images. When you drop an image into a shape, Figma gives you some really smart choices. Fill is your best friend for things like background photos. It scales the image up to cover the entire shape even if it has to crop the sides a bit. Fit does the opposite. It shrinks the image down to make sure the whole thing is visible, which might leave some empty space around the edges.
But the real pro move, the one that gives you total artistic control, is the crop option. This lets you manually move the image around inside its frame and scale it however you want. It's how you get that perfect, beautifully framed composition every single time.
So we've built a solid foundation here, but trust me, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Let's wrap things up in Section 5 by looking at where your design journey can take you from here.
Once you've got the basics down, a whole new world of power opens up. You can learn to create reusable components, which lets you update every single button in your app at once. You can build interactive prototypes that feel so real you could mistake them for a finished product. You can master auto layout to create designs that magically adapt to any screen size. And now, there are even AI features being built right in, which is changing the game all over again.
And this brings us to a really important takeaway. As our source material points out, Figma is a continuously evolving platform. Learning it isn't something you do once and then you're done. It's an ongoing journey. The real key to mastering it is just staying curious and engaged as new updates roll out.
So, here we are. You now have the keys to one of the most powerful and accessible design tools on the planet. And it's happening at a time when AI is basically putting creative superpowers into our hands. The only question left is, what are you going to create next?